Morning. My name is Brian Klass. I'm an Assistant Special Agent in charge with the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, New York Field Division. First and foremost, I'd like to convey my condolences to the family and friends of Jaquayla Young and Jarvis Alexander. Those concerns extend to the 14 additional victims who suffered gunshot wounds on September 19th. Protecting the public from violent firearm-related crime is at the core of ATF's mission. We, along with our partners from the Rochester Police Department, are committed to bringing those responsible for this egregious criminal act to justice. ATF, the Rochester Police Department, and Crime Stoppers are offering a combined reward of up to $10,000 for information leading to the arrest and conviction of the person or persons responsible for the murders of Ms. Young and Mr. Alexander. We urge anyone with information regarding these tragic homicides and the events of September 19 to reach out to the Rochester Police Department at 585-428-6057 or ATF at 1-888-ATF-TIPS. Your information will remain confidential. Thank you.
Thank you. That helps me remember with mine. Good morning, and thank you everybody for being here today. Unfortunately, the mayor could not be here today, but she sends her thoughts and prayers to the families of our 16 victims of this mass shooting, that happened back in September. Certainly, myself and our staff, we just can't imagine what the families are going through to have to try and deal with this. But the Rochester Police Department is seeking information regarding this murder, and certainly we want to support the Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms Division in any way we can. We thank them for stepping up to the plate to help us do whatever we can to try to get this solved so we could find some justice for the families. We would encourage anyone with information to call 911, Crime Stoppers, or the ATF, and certainly we can make sure they have that number. We will not tolerate this type of violence in our community and our city, and we're going to do everything we can to bring those individuals responsible for this to justice. We also want to thank our local, state, and federal partners for all their assistance in this case. Thank you so much to ATF and Crime Stoppers for this reward. So thank you.
James, sir.
Good morning. I just want to say that the most devastating thing that parents may have to experience is the loss of a child. And I feel, as parents, we all have a common goal: to raise our children, to live decent lives, and to give them the love and tools and support they need to become the success they want in their lives. And that opportunity was taken from Jarvis and Jaquayla, and they have promising futures. To those who have information about this incident that claimed those lives that night, and the other people that were injured, I'd just like you to put yourself in our shoes, and if God is putting it on your heart to come forward with information, then you know that's the right thing to do, if you have any information about that night. And I truly believe that what's done in the dark will come to the light. Somebody knows something, and if you have that information, I feel you're obligated to come forward, simply because those lives that were taken were innocent. And that alone should be enough. Thank you.
Chief, if there's that's what we have. If there's any questions regarding the investigation, like I said, we can't answer much, but if there's some general questions, we'll do the best that we can to answer them.
What's been the biggest challenge? I can't even imagine the chaos that night at that scene, but what's been the biggest challenge in trying to piece all this together?
Just the sheer volume of people that were there, the sheer volume of evidence that was at the crime scene. It's more than I've seen since I've been up here. So there's obviously, we have several hundred people that were at the party. We've interviewed a whole bunch, and we just need people that were there that have information to come forward for us. So to answer your question, Seth, it's just the volume of information that is there.
Have you seen a reticence of people?
So far?
I'm sorry?
Has everybody, you said there were a couple hundred people, has everyone that you know was there been interviewed?
No, no. We have had people that have come forward, that have been cooperative, that have helped us to move the investigation forward. But we need further information. We need more people to come forward. There was over 200 people there. There should be a line outside of our door, and we're hoping that people, step up and call and help us to bring justice for the families.
Why do you think there's been some reticence from some people to step forward?
I can't answer that.
How about cell phone video? Has that helped play a role in trying to piece together what happened?
Every case that we have, especially in a case where there's so many people present, cell phone video is certainly something that we look at. And there's a lot of things that have been helping us to progress the investigation forward, and that's certainly something that's taken part also.
Any social media related leads?
I'm sorry?
Any social media related leads, tweets, posts on Instagram?
Again, that's pretty standard in most of our investigations without getting specific. We have received information that has helped us to move the investigation forward, and that's part of it.
Frank, do you know who did it?
There's more than one suspect that we have here, and we do have several people of interest that we're looking at. But do we have a suspect at this point in time? No. Are we prepared to make an arrest at this point in time? No. We're hoping the information that we get from the public will get us to the point that we need to get to. But we certainly have persons of interest that we're looking at.
You said there were, at the original press conference, you said there were 3 or 4 shooters. Have you identified who the shooters were?
Not at this point. Not at this point. The investigation is still moving forward. We do have persons of interest, but we're not there yet.
Have you been able to determine which bullets from which guns were ultimately the ones that led to the deaths?
There's obviously a lot of ballistics that we're going through, and as far as specifics, I'm not going to discuss that today.
Also, at the original press conference, you said that there was a gun recovered at the scene. Have you been able to determine if that gun that was recovered at the scene was used in this mass shooting?
That gun was not used in the shooting.
How does the introduction of reward then change how you then filter the information you get, because now there's a different motivation?
It really doesn't, and that's a good question. We can't just take somebody's word for it. We're better than that. We always have to verify information that we receive. So it doesn't change it in that regards. We just hope that it'll motivate people to come forward farther, but it doesn't affect our investigation.
Frank, in your experience, do rewards work?
Sure. We have a great community, and I have faith that people in this community are going to continue to come forward and help us. Sometimes they need a little bit of push, but we have a lot of great people that care, and it could be any of our children at one point in time, and the only way to try to prevent that is to get people off the streets that partake in that type of behavior.
Frank, any reason to believe that any of the 16 were targeted?
I will only speak on the 2 victims that we're here today to speak about, and I can tell you that our investigation has led us to believe that they were just innocent victims in the wrong place at the wrong time. They were not involved in any type of altercation. They were not targeted. There was no reason for them to be targeted. Just 2 really good kids. Okay? All right, thank you. No further questions. We're set.
I have a quick question. Is it normal for the ATF to be involved in something like this?
It's normal for us. At the Rochester Police Department, we have an ATF agent assigned right to my office in major crimes. So we work extremely closely with our federal partners, specifically ATF. And they have come forward with reward money in the past on other cases that we've had. So it's not uncommon. And it's not uncommon for us to work hand in hand with them. We do it every day.
Do you remain hopeful?
Yes. I always remain hopeful, and I have faith in the community, and I have faith in our investigative team.
When you say that the victims were not targeted, were any of the other shooters, the person people were shot, were they all not targeted as well?
Yeah, I'm not going to get into all that.
Okay.
Okay, I can't comment on that. Okay. All right. There was an exchange of gunfire is all that I will say, but it's too much for us to get into.
Do you expect the reward truly to change the dynamic in a community that hasn't come forward so far with 2 young people, 2 innocent people? And how is the reward going to change that dynamic?
I don't know if it's going to change the dynamic. I think we want to bring this back to the forefront of people's minds. You know, I want to firmly believe that our community does not need monetary incentive to come forward. I believe that they want to come forward because it's the right thing. And, you know, sometimes we just need a little push. People are very busy. You know, unfortunately for the families we have here, they've been living this, you know, since September. They have not forgotten about it. So we want to remind the community of the pain that's going on, and hopefully, you know, this will help encourage people to come forward.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.